Well, well, well. It seems after a decade of just additions to Mario Kart 8 and spin-off games, we have at long last arrived at the confirmation of Mario Kart 9. And it does look quite promising. The character models are all brand new and much more expressive, the new track is massive, and perhaps most notably, there are a whole 24 racers allowed per race. Now, I don't know about you, but I think this means the roster could be at least double the size of 8 Deluxe's final 48-character roster. And if that's the case, this could easily be the biggest, grandest, and most diverse Mario Kart game yet. So what better time to talk about what I hope this means than now, given this is actually something I've been meaning to do a video about for some time. But before we get into the meat of the video, it would be great if you took the opportunity to like and subscribe, as this definitely won't be the last video I make about this Mario Kart game. I've seen a lot of discourse over Mario Kart rosters and what the next step is to expand their horizons beyond what they currently draw from. Most content creators immediately flock to the idea of a Smash-style crossover, an idea likely inspired by the DLC choices for Mario Kart 8. But I'm not fond of this idea, for one reason. Mario Kart has barely tapped the surface of what the Mario franchise has to offer. And no, I'm not just talking about mainline games, although there are some glaring omissions from even that lineup. I'm talking about
the Marioverse.
Over the years, Mario Kart has very slightly dipped its toes into some spin-off series, such as Luigi's Mansion with King Boo, and Donkey Kong Country with Diddy Kong, Funky Kong, and eventually Dixie Kong. But outside that, it's almost exclusively either pulling from mainline Mario or making up characters entirely. Now don't get me wrong, I like Toadette, and it's nice that she found her place in the main Mario franchise and story-driven spin-offs. But I don't think Mario Kart should be making up new characters over pulling existing ones from past games. And also, Toadette is really the only Mario Kart original character that's worth anything to me, so there's also that. Mario Kart Tour, while I don't personally consider it to be the true Mario Kart 9 due to just how radically different its structure is, did something at the end of its life that I think should be expanded on and applied to more series. It introduced Poochie as a playable character while also designing an entire track that's just a love letter to the Yoshi's Island series. This, I believe, should serve as the blueprint for the types of additions Mario Kart 9 makes to expand its horizons. The arcade Mario Kart games feature a track inspired by WarioWare's Diamond City. Why not take cues from that and give that series a track and a few new characters in Mario Kart 9? Why not give Donkey Kong's villain King K. Rool a slot in the roster? Or Professor Egad to round out the Luigi's Mansion crew? Or, dare I say it, actually acknowledge the existence of literally anything original to the Mario RPGs. Of course, I also think that recent mainline characters such as Cappy and Prince Florian should definitely join the race. I'm just a bit miffed that that's the extent most people are willing to discuss before jumping straight into crossover talk. And I also think that mainline additions shouldn't end with them. I also want characters who originated in mainline Mario games but have been MIA for over a decade, like Toadsworth, to make their grand return. Seriously, it's an actual crime that he's been reduced to only appearing in remakes since Dream Team. Free him, and put him in mainline games and RPGs again while you're at it. There's also characters original to the Mario Party series that have appeared in NPCs in those games, usually as host, that I think would make great additions to the Mario Kart 9 roster. They've basically been scrubbed from the series since Nintendo Cube took over, but I see no reason not to bring them back. This is a brand new era. The perfect time to leave that conservative, brand-obsessed-to-a-fault approach to the Mario IP in the past, and bring back characters that haven't seen the light of day since the 2000s. One idea I had that would be a great way to ease in some of the characters that originate in games the series has never represented before, takes inspiration from a feature that actually was used before. In Mario Kart Wii, you could unlock Rosalina by having a Super Mario Galaxy save file on your Wii. Imagine if Mario Kart 9 does this with a liberal selection of Mario games on both the Switch and Switch 2. Have a Luigi's Mansion 3 save file? Boom, Egad and Helen Gravely unlocked. Have a Brothership save file? Here's Connie and the Extension Core. Thousand Year Door? Vivian and Goombella. Super Mario RPG? Geno and Mallow. Super Mario Bros. Wonder? you can now play as the Talking Flower, which commentates the entire race. This would ease some of the less conventional characters into an audience that doesn't expect them, by introducing them alongside a mechanic that by nature you'd expect to bring in unexpected characters. Remember, Rosalina was unexpected in Mario Kart Wii. Now she's a mainstay. Not every character has to be one that's out of the realm of Mario Kart, introducing naturally, of course, but it'd be nice to have this as a way of unlocking them and easing in the more unprecedented ones. I think this is far better than just continuing to ignore these games in all rosters until the end of time. This would also mean future Mario game releases that introduce interesting new characters could have a corresponding Mario Kart 9 update that adds those characters. And then there's the matter of veterans. Mario Kart Tour did return most series veterans, but not all, and one of them returned in a monkey's paw sort of way. I think all veterans from past Mario Kart games who originate in the Mario universe should return, though I wouldn't lose sleep over not getting Pink Gold Peach or Peachette. I also think Rob should return. While he isn't firmly a Mario character like the rest, he also doesn't really have another series to call his own, so I think he's a different case than the later crossover characters, who very much do have their own franchise and are separate from Mario. Plus, I grew up on Mario Kart DS, so to me, he's a welcome part of the cast. I don't particularly want Mario Kart 8's crossover characters back though, since they set a precedent for people to beg for the series to move away from the Mario universe. And given everything I discussed here, that would be the final nail in the coffin for the Mario Kart I've always dreamed of. Mario Kart should be for Mario fans, first and foremost, and I think 8 catered a bit too much to the Smash audience instead. Personally, just give me all Mario veterans back, plus Rob, focus the newcomers on further representing the extended Marioverse rather than just random safe picks from mainline games or more variants of Mario and Peach. I would also not mind alts coming back from Tour, but only if they're entirely cosmetic and count as the same character slot as the original. I noticed Peach is riding a bike in her dress in the footage, and as an intellectual, I am obligated to hope that's either a placeholder or evidence of alts, since a timeline with no biker suit is
not ideal.
But anyway, that's all the time I've got. I gotta get back to playing CTGP7 on my Nintendo 3DS. Hopefully soon I won't need to rely on fan mods to play as Mario RPG characters in Mario Kart. See you on the flip side.